Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode on the Tyrael VX channel. Now I made this guide because if you have a look at my gear, 3.5 hours in and I'm already completely overpowered. If I look at my inventory, I have 10 Crimson Flasks, 2 in magic, 8 in health, and they're plus 8. Not just that though, I have a plus 10 Sword of Night and Flame. I've got the Meteoric Staff with 2 spells, the full Ruined Knight armor, the Radagon Sword Seal, the End Tree Favor Talisman, the Great Shield Talisman, the Cat Talisman, and this weird looking face one, the Voe Talisman. All of this comes with the Flask of Wondrous Physic. It's a staple, but all of this has come within 3 hours of the game, and I'm going to show you how to do it. It's that simple. If you do enjoy, consider subscribing. It helps me out a ton, but without further ado, let's get straight into it. We'll start off the complete guide by first creating your character. Now, the main reason I made this is because you see a bunch of different guides on how to do certain things in Elden Ring to get super overpowered. This is a complete guide. This will show you literally everything you need to do to get everything I showed you in the beginning. Now, I've just created my character there, and to skip the first boss, wait for him to summon in, jump off the cliff. Simple as, you don't need to fight him whatsoever. Now when you load into a new area, grab your Crimson Flask. It will automatically be given to you. Turn off tutorials if you want. Just go through the doors and grab your first bonfire. We will be coming back here later, but just grab your co-op item, go up the elevator and head into the first area. Now this is going to take you less time than it took me. It took me 3.5 hours to do, but that's because I had to do it without a guide. I had to do this just running through using knowledge I have of my own game. Talk to Vine, we're going to use his questline later, and head off to Eleanor's church, straight there in the distance. There is a good rule you should always have in Dark Souls game in general: always talk to an NPC 3 times. I didn't do it with the merchant in here because I know his questline, I know what it gives me, and I couldn't be asked to do it. That's literally the only reason. But come out of the church, grab the gold rune 2, sit down at the bonfire, or just activate it, use the gold rune, and buy your crafting kit. This is how you're going to make a lot of your items, and you're going to need it because it is very useful. Now come out of that, turn left, head up the path, and we're going to head to the first enemy encampment. If you want to head kind of a bit to the right, you can mostly avoid them. You'll know if you're in combat because you'll be able to see your stamina bar going down even though you're running. But there are multiple things we want here. That right there I circled around, you will know if you've activated it because at the top left under your stamina you'll see a T-posing statue. Essentially, whenever you die now, you can choose to either respawn at the last bonfire you sat at, or the last grace, which would be this one, or you can choose to spawn at the Merica statue. But you want to come up to where I'm going, fight the enemies. I would recommend it because not only will it give you a couple souls to do whatever you want, but they will be very pestilent. Is that the correct word? I'm not entirely sure, but they'll be big pests when you're trying to get this next item. So give me a second to quickly fight these guys. There we go. If the video is going too fast, just do it to 0.5 because this is double the speed, so 0.5 will make it look regular. There we go. Here's the whetstone and your first Ash of War, so this will allow you to equip special abilities to normal weapons. Just sit back down at the grace and you'll be approached, let's say, by a Finger Maiden. Now, a couple different things I'm gonna say in this video. One, I'm getting one weapon for each type, but only the weapons for Dex, Faith, and Intelligence are able to get you plus 10 this way. The Strength one, you'd have to be able to beat the first boss without using any level materials first before you're able to get a weapon that's Strength based. Because you would need Morgoth's hammer, Godric's hammer. But we've just quickly grabbed the Lorien sword because it will be very useful for getting the Dex weapon later. Just head up this way, be careful of the giant that's up above. He will jump down and try and attack you. You just want to ride past them. This is why we got the horse, because it makes it so much easier, and grab our first golden seed here on the right. Now we're going to head up to Stormhill Shack. Be careful, there is a dog invasion, but you can just hop up on this rock, just sit at the grace. I got attacked, unfortunately, but I'm fairly decent at the game, so I was alright. Just sit at the shack and go pick up the storm key. We'll need that later off of this corpse, and talk to her. You'll need to talk to her 3 times as the golden rule goes. There we go, we just got the jellyfish. Now you can look at the map which we got, and we're going to teleport back to the church, because now we're going to talk to Rani. Rani has a questline later on in the game that that you can choose to do. We're not going to do it now in this Let's Play, because this is just a quick starting guide. But have a talk to her. She breaks the rule of talking to people 3 times, because you can only talk to her twice, but she'll get the summoning wolf. But if you want to know how to equip the things that I've equipped there, press options right on your D-pad, and then triangle on whatever one of the 4 D-pad slots you want, and then click on the item. So if you're going up for Torrent's Whistle, all you do is hold triangle, which will bring up that little switch menu there, and it would allow you to switch to your item menu essentially. Now we're going to grab this. We're going to grab that because that's another multiplayer item you are going to want, and we're going to head directly to these ruins, because we are about to go get the Meteoric Scepter. We have a decently good great sword, but we can't use it yet. So you want to come here, quickly talk to these rats, and then quit out. Quitting out will allow you to de-aggro the rats. Yes, you'll close the chest again, but that's fine, because now you won't have the rats attacking you, and you'll actually be able to get in perfectly fine without any issues whatsoever. There we go, we've loaded in, and oh no, it's a trap chest. Yes, this chest has been known since the beginning of the game. But while we're loading, I'm going to quickly say that this will be a complete guide on everything I got, but it won't be a complete guide in total, because obviously there are going to be some things in the game that we can't get here because we don't know about them yet, essentially. So there is a ton of things early on in the game that we aren't able to find, or we don't know about yet, because this is an open world game. Surely there's some more things than this we can do. But sit at the bonfire, you have to sit at it, otherwise you can't teleport, because you'll still be technically kidnapped, and just come out of the cave. And now we're in the middle of Caelid. We're going to go directly to the west, yeah, it is to the west, so just right along the beach. You can kill that little gold sparkly thing on the floor. It's going to be super hard though, because it moves around a lot, but if you do, you'll get a poison sword, which is a good incantation if you want to do faith build. But just follow the footsteps I'm going down here, and we'll get our first spell for our sorcerer. Now, I never picked up any spells for a faith build, but there is someone who sells faith spells at the round table. There is an armor set here for faith and magic if you want to wear it. But in this building here, Meteoric Staff, grab it, and that will be your main source of weaponry for the sorcerer. But come out, go right, and here is another bonfire. Now, sitting at this bonfire will count as enough story progression for your Finger Maiden to come back again, and she'll essentially say that she's going to the table hold, and you want to say you're coming with her. I mean, you've only got one dialogue option, it's not like you can refuse. But going here will allow you to unlock a couple more NPCs, as well as a blacksmith, and eventually an armor set. But that's going to be a bit later in the game, so talk to everyone if you want. You don't have to, it's completely optional. I just chose to do it. Not everyone has good things, but some of them have quest lines you can do if you talk to them here. So there's your blacksmith. I just spoke to a couple people, and here's the person who will sell you miracles. So just say, I saw the faith, I can see the grace, and there you go. That's how you get attack miracles. There's 2 fireballs right there, so if you're using a faith build, there you go. We'll talk to this guy. We're going to get his armor right at the end of the video, maybe even part 2, depending on how much of this I have to do. And in that shop there, you see an extra spell slot, but we won't need it. We're not going to get that many. Anyway, teleport back to Caelid. I did a little skip there because the loading time was taking a bit long, and we're just going to head off to this map marker. Now be very careful, because there are a couple enemies here, and you do not want to be caught out by them, because they will one-shot you. Guaranteed at this point in the game. But we want to get this map marker because we're looking to head to Fort Faroth to get ourselves a very good talisman this early in the game. Quickly grab it. There we go. There's a merchant there. We're going to ignore him, but just head up the pathway. Alright, and we make it to the town of Sorcery. Now you are going to want to come back here later if you are a sorcerer to get a better staff, but I don't recommend that this early on in the game. You're just going to head up these stairs and quickly grab the golden seed. Now come back down because you're going to want to do some parkour to open that front gate so you can get out of here to a bonfire. Because there's an area past here that will be useful for doing a questline for sorcerers later. Now I know, oh god, I hit my mic, sorry about that. Now I know that I am focusing primarily on sorcerers, and it's not that I favourite them more. I'm actually personally a strength faith build guy myself. It's just everything that sorcerers can do is so early accessible, if you get what I mean. You can get it all really early, that you might as well go grab it while you can. But anyway, go touch that, it opens the door, there's the grace, simple as. So activate it, turn around and go up this hill. There are going to be 2 boulders here, so be very careful about them. There's an easy way to dodge them. Literally right as you see them start to roll, just quickly press circle and you'll kind of boost out the way. We're going to head up to this temple building, and I believe I got a crimson tear in here? I don't remember though, I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, there you go. There's a crimson tear, so that will get your flask up to +1. Grab the bonfire while you're here, because you are going to want to come back eventually. And just use your golden seeds to quickly upgrade your flask. You should have 5 crimson flasks at +1. Don't worry about the lady in the corner, you can't do a questline, nowhere near yet. But come up under the root to this grave. There's going to be an enemy here. You want to go past them and hit this illusory wall, go into this cave. This cave is a bit dark, so don't worry too much. We will get a way for you to light up it eventually in the playthrough, just not yet. Sit at the grace, turn around to get your... So you sit at the grace to get your health and flask back if you've used any. I only lost like 10 health points, so I didn't really need to. I just did it just to be safe, and teleport back to the church. Because now what we're going to do is we are going to quickly grab the map of this area, I believe. Am I going to grab the map? Yes I am, there you go, see. So to grab the map, you just want to come out, essentially go back the way you came. Here I got confused a bit because I actually had 2 markers, one to the old map, which is that one, and one to the new map, which is that one. But you want to go back to where you came, but instead of going right towards the gravesite, by the way, good item here. If instead of going right towards the graveyard, you want to turn left and go to this little spirit spring. Now these tornado things, if you press X whilst on Torrent, your horse, you'll go jumping up. But try and aim for this white rock, because you'll get some very high upgrade materials here, as you can see, and a stone sulky. So 2 level 7s and a level 8. But this is Fort Faroth, essentially. This big dragon, we are going to kill him later, and using the dex weapon, no left. Well, depends on your playstyle. We are going to need a dex weapon to kill this dragon. But after grabbing that bonfire, just run into this building. Right at the back there's a ladder. You want to climb all the way up to the top of it, and you'll get 2 things in this. You'll get a Dectus medallion, which is in a chest. Don't worry if you get poisoned. Everyone gets poisoned, it's fine. You want to grab the Dectus medallion, turn around, roll off here, and you want to grab a Radagon sword seal. So to do that, don't go for that white item, turn around, jump over the platform, down here through the rats. That white item is a gold rune 12, and you can get it. It will give you like 7.5k runes if you want, but you won't need them, trust me, with everything you're going to get. If you want to go in again, grab it, go ahead. There's no problem with that. But obviously I died here because there was no way I was going to survive with multiple rats. But come on, put that on. Or come out, put that on, and that will give you +5 to strength, dex, vigor, and endurance, allowing me to use that greatsword I had on before. Now I'm going to head down towards the map area by failing to jump over this dragon. a whopping 2 whole times. And we are going to grab upgrade material 9, I believe, along with the map. Now you can get upgrade material 7 here as well. I just forgot to grab it whilst I was here, but I will come back later on in the video and show you. You're just gonna come down here, you'll get a rune arc, a flower, and the upgrade material we're looking for. There it is, Somber Stone 9. So just head back up, turn right. I grabbed a couple things here because there is a rune in the middle of this lake right there. Or not a rune, a gravel stone, which can be used to craft items later on. And the map is just there. Essentially what you can see me doing here is running to the bonfire. I wanted to jump to see if I was out of aggro, to see if I could teleport away, but I forgot that there was actually a bonfire close to here. There we go. So that's that map of Caelid done. We're going to travel up the road, as you can see, and we're going to head to that marker. So give me a second. My character's going to travel there. You can do the same. You should have the map to find it. And we'll be back in a second to tell you what's going on. So we've reached the area. You should see this cliff up to our right with a couple runes if you went directly there. Just jump into the spring, which will let you land safely, grab the bonfire, and then come back. Now you can use that spring to jump up onto the balcony, which you just saw me do, and come in here because we're going to get a memory slot, which will allow us to use more spells. Now we're not going to have enough spells to actually use all of these, but it is a good thing to have in the future. It saves a lot of work, and just teleport back down to the Greys, because now we're going to get 50k souls. Or runes, depending. I know, I'm bad. I keep calling them souls and I keep calling Grace's bonfire, but that's just because wouldn't you, after like 10,000 hours in Dark Souls 1 and 3, which I'm sure a lot of you have, given how good of games they were. Now, you want to come up to this Black Knight here. You don't want to, like, run too much. You do want to sprint, obviously, so that he doesn't catch up with you. If you feel like he's getting close, press circle to dash, but you don't want to dash too much, otherwise he'll lose aggro on you and just walk back. Come up, turn around, you should see him kind of fidget his health bar over there, and it will get enemies slaughtered. Now, I don't know exactly how this works. From my understanding of the situation, his AI isn't supposed to go that far. The poison keeps activating his aggro to the point where he gets outside of his spawn range and he just gets deleted. But quickly come in here, add 18 to intelligence, 17 to faith. Don't do what I did and add 17 to faith, or 18 to faith and 17 to arcane, because you will be extremely annoyed, as I was. But that will allow you to use the meteoric staff. So there you see I put on the gravity weapon, and you won't have enough endurance to put on your shield and wand and sword at the moment. Just give it a bit, trust me, you will have enough. But we're going over to, I believe, the War Master's shack, if I remember what I did next. Okay, yeah. You can see the girl there. Just head basically past her into the forest. This is the War Master's shack. Essentially what this is going to do is it's going to allow us to buy a Ash of War called No Skill, which we can put on our shield so that it doesn't do its default skill of parry. Here's the War Master here himself. There we go. We've got the Ash of War, No Skill. Just have a talk to him, just buy it from him. It's only 600 runes. And that will allow us to put the Blood Step ability on our sword and have our shield out later on. Obviously we're not going to have that yet, but we're going to follow this pathway up a bit because we are going to grab the map of that area. Although I am going to do a bit of detouring first because there are other things I want to do essentially. But run through the camp, grab any item you can because we're about to go see Alexander. Now you can kill him here if you're good enough, and he will give you a pot warrior's talisman, which will increase your weapon skill damage. But I wouldn't advise against it because if you actually do his full quest line, you'll be able to get the better version called the Alexander Shard, which will give you, if I remember correctly, 15% of weapon damage. But anyway, grab him out the ground. You don't have to. It's not necessary, but it's a nice thing to do. Come on, the guy's stuck. Why not help him out? But quickly grab the items and walk down to the next grace. There it is. You can see it in the distance. Beautiful. Now, I did take a break here to go eat something, which is why there was a little cut there. Now, you want to run past the Tibia Mariner. Trust me, it's a tough boss. You do not want to fight that yet. It will give you a dark route, though, which is pretty nice. I don't know. We're heading up to Caelid, though. Don't go into that church to the left. I know it's compelling because you think, oh, you've seen a church before. It gives you crimson tears. Don't go into it. You will be invaded with by a very tough NPC who does ironically have a faith strength sword, but that's not what we're here for. Grab this, grab the item, which I still don't know what it's used for after over 200 or so hours in the game. I don't know what it is used for, honestly. But grab that bonfire, come down here, and we are looking for the strength weapon. So if you were back there and you were saying, oh, I don't want to play as a faith or an intelligence build, I want to play as a strength build. Well, here's your strength weapon, but unfortunately it cannot be upgraded with the particular method we're using. So if you want to go for a somewhat strength weapon, wait a little bit more to the dex weapon, and that should be able to help you out a bit. Now, as you can see there, I put my marker down because that is Redmane Castle, and you can actually go there if you want, but we're not going to go there yet. We're actually going to go to Lucaria Lake. But the strength weapon, the strength greatsword I showed you, super brokenly overpowered, but you can only get it to like plus 10 this early in the game, I think. Which, in comparison, we can get the weapon we're going to do to the equivalent of plus 25, which is way higher than that. But teleport to Storm Shack, go behind it, follow the road, just do everything you see my character doing, and you should be fine. But we're heading up this hidden path because we're heading to the Lucaria Lakes district to get the Sword of Night and Flame. Anyway, follow the path. I'm going to cut out my mic for a bit just to let you guys see where it's going. Well, you finally made it through the passageway, that's good. Come up to this church and it's going to have two things that are very useful to us. It's going to have a tier that will allow us to get our flask up to +2, and it will have a merchant that will let us buy Glintstone Pebble, which is a spell you would have started off with if you chose Astrologer, but you wouldn't be nearly as strong as this. But head down the pathway, and this is where I actually lost a bit of footage, and you're going to see it because it's going to be a little fade transition. It's not hard to figure out what I did. Literally just follow the path. It's quite obvious. Literally, you can see it right there. You can see it's an obvious path through the woods. But quickly grab the grace, talk to this merchant, and buy yourself a lantern for 1500 runes. Maybe some upgrade materials if you want, enough to get your current weapon that I'm holding to +2. Head up the path, grab the map, and head to this one. As you can see, it's literally not that far up the road. But anyway, head kind of between west and north, and then head directly west to this little teleport gate. And essentially what this will do is this will let you head to I say to somewhere. It lets you head past this little kind of broken city area straight to the gate we're going to be using later to get some more better loot. Quickly grab the grace point because we are going to need to teleport back here in a second, and grab this map. I don't know exactly what it does. It's kind of confusing. I think it's a treasure map, but I've never particularly used it. And head back down the road to quickly grab the map fragment. Now, the reason we're also going this way is because there's a golden seed and there's another teleport gate we want to head through. But run down. You can pick up the smithing stone free if you want. We're not really going to be using it, but all these stones will be useful for if you are using the greatsword. It will save you a bit of time and a bit of money. Grab the golden seed, or not money, runes should I say. Grab the golden seed, head past, head through, and here is the map site next to a nice conveniently placed grave. or grace should I say. But grab that, sit down if you need to, and we're gonna head directly to this market area right here. It's kind of obvious, it's just like in the middle of the lake, but head there. That's the teleport gate we want, and that is the teleport gate that's going to take us straight to Kara Manor. So once you load in, quickly grab the map. You can head that way to a Grace if you want. I would say get it, but there's another Grace so close to this, you aren't really going to need it. But this is where we're heading up here to Kara Manor. So head up the pathway, and you want to enter this kind of ruins-like area because there's going to be a blacksmith here that we're going to need for this to work. So head up, there's a wall here, just hit it, it's illusory. And there's the other bonfire, which is why I said you don't really technically need the other one, because there's literally one right here. Talk to the blacksmith, he sells smithing stones 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're not going to need any of them. I was an idiot here and bought a somber stone one because I actually forgot that I didn't need it, but it didn't affect me in any way because literally there was no problem with it. I'm going to use a couple runes here though, because I am going to want to upgrade my sword to +2. You only need it at +2 for this to work. It's completely fine. There we go. And I got these extra souls because a smithing stone 1 only costs 2k from this guy. And I was like, oh yeah, let me buy one. I've completely forgot that you can just get one anyway later, so this is completely unnecessary. But skip this part, you don't need it. And we're just going to head straight up to Kara Manor. Now, there is a lot of magic here. A lot of magic. And basically, the boss of this mansion, I can't remember her name, but she has a special ability. She has a spell you get for killing her, which we're not going to do in this episode. She's a pretty tough boss. And that's actually what it is. She's essentially just firing magical arrows. So sit at the Grace, you're going to need it, trust me, and head left into the building. Now there are massive hands around here, and this is where I'm going to teach you how to use a stamina method. Now a lot of people know about this already, some don't. It actually, I think it's been depowered a bit, but when you're in combat and you're running, you see my stamina's going down, I will crouch quickly, and if you press the L stick 2 times quick enough, you'll get a big boost of stamina without ever losing any speed. Come up here, here's the Grace. Now come out the door, right and left, and we want to cross this bridge to a certain point. Left again, right again. And over to the left side, you see this little platform down here. Jump off, run to the broken wall, jump off again, and go down the ladder. You can survive a fall from this ladder. You can just roll off. I personally don't, but here is the Sword of Night and Flame. Grab that and teleport, I think, back to the magical place. Yeah, am I gonna do it? Yeah, I was just putting a marker down, there we go. But teleport back here, go to the marker that you see, because there's a dragon there that we need to get something called a glintstone key from to let us into the academy. I don't personally know why they made this mandatory. By the way, I died here, try not to die. If you come at it from between these 2 trees, which I was rushing, which is why I didn't do, you'll survive, it'll be fine, you'll only lose a tiny bit of health. But I don't know why they made it so that you need this glintstone key to get in. There probably is another way, but if you didn't know this, how would you ever get in? Well, actually, I know how you'd get in, that's what the map's for. I literally just figured that out. That map shows you where this dragon is. Huh. That's pretty cool. I never realized that, but come to the dragon, grab the key, and essentially run like your life depends on it. You can die here, we've literally got no souls, or at least if you're doing the same thing I am, you shouldn't have any souls. But just run away or die to him, whatever gets you back to the Lucaria Manor, it's up to you. Or not the Lucaria Manor, the Lucaria Gate. There we go, you can see I can teleport now, but I'm actually going to go down, if you can see, and I'm going to go up here because we are going to go grab the Flask of Wondrous Physic. Now, given how long this first part actually is, I might actually break this into 3 different parts. Each part will have its own little section, so this part is just a starting, then I'll show you how to get to start leveling up your sword, and then the last part will be grabbing the last little things you need, such as extra flasks and extra flask and extra armor. Although you might actually not need to do it. I might be able to fit it all into 2 pieces, given that you can split it. But I've got 3 hours of footage. I've condensed this into 30. I might be able to actually. I don't know. We'll see how the videos turn out. But come up here, quickly grab this. This painting in this building, for those of you who don't know, you can, if you can find where it was painted, not what the painting is, where the painting was taken, or I'll say it's a picture, where the picture was taken, then you can actually get a reward. There's one later on we'll get, but not yet. But head down to this church, be careful because there is a couple drops around here. You just want to come around the way I'm going, grab all these little gold runes. You can use them all for money, and this is a cookbook. There you go, cookbook 1 essentially. But you want to come around here, go straight to the end, and you can kind of see already there's like a gravestone sticking out of the wall. That's where we're heading. To the left, yep, there they are. But jump down these. I'd recommend getting off your horse. They are kind of dangerous. And there's a giant we want to avoid. But head into the church, sit at the grace, grab the tear and the flask of wondrous physic. Now this bug's going to annoy us a bit, it's going to fly around, we're just going to shoot it with our spell and show you just how broken that is. Almost 200 damage, literally, and we weren't even trying. But we're going to sit at the grace to lose aggro and head down here because there's 3 things actually we're going to want down here. We want the map fragment, which is very important. We want some more tears for our wondrous physic, because the only one we have now increases our health by 50%, and if we go here there's one that increases our charge attack damage, and there's one that increases our stamina. Just follow down this road, you can see the map fragment right there, and we're going to quickly jump up these cliffs, grab the minor Erd tree, which is right here. There is one that does attack damage. I never got it because I never find it to be useful for how minuscule the amount is. And just come into this building, because this is the Siofa River well. Now you can see right there, that's the next area we're going Fort Heights, and then we're going to go down into the Weeping Peninsula, but that will be in the next episode. For now, we're just going to head down into the Siofa River well, which is a very long fall, so just give it a second. There we go, quickly grab the bonfire. Now this is a later game area, you are going to want to come back here eventually, but for now all you're going to do is grab all the white items on the floor. Most of them are runes, some of them are upgrade materials, but that's all you really want from this area. See, there's a smithing stone too, that will get you to +4 I believe. Literally just grab everything, be greedy, it doesn't matter. There's nothing here that's really going to attack you as long as you keep moving. These guys are going to surround you, but again, literally, you're on horseback, they can't hit you. And just quickly jump onto this elevator. Now the reason I say as well to come down here is I know it's a very long elevator ride, and I know it's annoying, but this will save you almost 4k runes. Because down here, you're able to get a somber stone too. Now people don't tell you this. Like, when you're watching a regular video on how to get a weapon to +5 before you fight the first boss, those are rookie numbers. Grab the map, by the way. I can show you, without spending really any runes whatsoever, how to get a +9 weapon. Now, there are a couple videos, but I can actually get you to +10. That's how good this is. You are going to have to fight a boss to get to +10, but you can get to +9 easily enough. But essentially what they say is, they say get the runes, buy smithing stone 1, 2, 3, and 4. You don't have to do that. You can get 1, 2, and 3 for free. You only need to buy 4, and I'm pretty sure there is a way to get 4. But come through the teleport gate. The only reason we've come here is essentially 1 to die, and 2 because there's a gold rune 4 here, which will give you, like, I think it's, what is it, 1600 souls, something like that? I don't remember exactly. But anyway, I'm going to leave this episode here. If you have enjoyed, consider leaving a like, comment, or subscribe. If you have a comment, I will get back to you. And remember, I always say, try and have a beautiful day. I'll see you in part 2 to get that +9 weapon. Bye bye.